With Sophie's success in creating the new nuclear thermal engine, the time had finally arrived to design a brand new Scout. The Homer class geological survey vessel would be the first proper space-going craft of the Council. Weighing in at 3,500 tons, a potential maximum speed of 1,785 kilometers per second. The Homer-class geological survey vessel, driven by the Oliver Hooper 125 commercial nuclear thermal engine, would take the craft out to far-flung places of the solar system to hopefully discover more elements. Unfortunately, the shipyard wasn't quite ready to begin building the craft. Still 2 years away from having the 6,000 ton capacity that was requested by the Council. It seems that the Council overestimated the amount of construction capacity they would require. On the industry side, a checkup showed that the construction factories, because they were being converted over, the time that it would take to convert them all was gradually decreasing. Deciding to place more emphasis on converting the industry first than the mines, they decided to assign 70% of the construction capacity to converting the conventional industry across to construction factories. Decided to let Reese Lucas move back into his field of comfort, biology and genetics, and begin work on a terraforming module that would potentially allow the Council to change worlds forever to make them more suitable to human occupation. Obviously a long-term goal. Reese Lucas was given 5 labs to complete this job. The remaining labs were given to Isabel Cooper and her work on EM sensitivities, the active grav sensor and the thermal sensor. With little else to do, the Council decides to wait until the shipyard is ready to build the first Homer-class scout ships. On the 1st of October, Year 5, Isabel completed the research into the active grav sensor and moved on to researching the thermal sensor, sensitivity 6. On the 1st of November, the next month, Isabel, her friend Sophia Coles, completed the research into the visible light laser and moved on to the turret tracking speed. Then, on the 1st of April, Year 6, Isabel Cooper finished the research into the thermal sensitivity sensor. was now that the council decided to ask Isabel to begin research into some logistics items, namely the cargo handling system, to allow for the movement of large amounts of cargo to orbital freighters. The idea being that eventually large freighters would be created to carry goods and infrastructure between the worlds of the human race. Furthermore, fitting in with the long-term plan to colonize the stars, Isabel was assigned the research into the cryogenic transport. The cryogenic transport would allow 10,000 colonists to travel in chilly comfort, shall we say, to different worlds. On the 1st of September, Isabel finished the research into the cargo handling system and moved on to the cryogenic transport. On the 1st of January, Year 7, Sophia Coles finished the research into the turret tracking speed. Amber Metcalf was a new graduate from the military academy, and straight away she was assigned a single lab to begin slow work on high-density duranium armor. Not considered a high priority research topic, but certainly one that would help in the near future, the near to medium term future. Sophia was asked to continue her research down the laser pathway, beginning work on the near ultraviolet laser. The near ultraviolet laser would provide an improvement upon the latest class, furthermore increasing the power at range to potentially cause more damage to further targets. Tritanium is still a concern to the council, as there is only potentially 10 years left. Albeit having a decent stockpile of most minerals, additional resources will be required quite quickly. The conversion from conventional industry across to trans-Newtonian specialised industry was continuing at quite a good pace. Indeed, the council was impressed by how quickly the mines were coming online, so they reappropriated the construction capacity to further emphasise the conversion from conventional industry to construction factories. Now, hopefully finishing within the next year or 2 years, the full conversion will be excellent news once it's completed. On the 1st of February, Isabel finished the research into cryogenic transport. It was decided that because the council had such a genius in their midst, in the form of Isabel Cooper, that they would continue to research down sensors and fire control to take advantage of her clearly superior abilities in the laboratory, hopefully improving the technology of the human race. On the 1st of June, Year 7, 5,000 tonnes of capacity was added to the Burke and Norton shipyard. And with that capacity, the Burke and Norton shipyard could finally begin building the Homer class scout ship. And it would take roughly a little over a year to complete the task of building the ship. So in the middle of year 8, the first scout ship will be deployed into the galaxy as a whole. Isabel Cooper discovered the secrets to increasing the beamfire control range, her work stretching the range out to 16,000 kilometers. She was then asked to move on to electronic hardening to potentially protect the electronics in the ships from solar flares and other phenomenon. On the 1st of March, Isabel Cooper completed the research and moved on to the next one. And then finally, on the 1st of June, year 8, the conventional industry was completely turned into construction factories. It was decided that the remaining 80% that was now surplus would be poured into creating the first commercial shipyard of the human race. The council deciding that freighters and colony ships would soon be a requirement, and it was decided that 2 commercial shipyards would be built. On the 1st of July, year 8, the Homer was launched. It was handed over to acceptance and trials. The Navy's engineers poring over every inch of the ship to ensure that it was perfect and ready for duty as the first scout ship. Her first task, her first place to perform a geological survey would of course be the moon. It was incredible how fast the Homer moved. Within an hour it was at the moon, orbiting and beginning the survey. Over the course of the next 3 days, the Homer continued to orbit, surveying the planet, aiming to hopefully find a supply near the Earth with trans-Newtonian elements. And it was with disappointment that the Homer reported back that there was no minerals to speak of on the moon. Not completely disheartened, the council ordered the Homer onto Mars. Surely, if Luna didn't have any resources, Mars would. It was in a meeting with the scientists. They discussed the fact that if there wasn't minerals on Luna, where might they be? And the scientists decided that there was a better than even chance that minerals would exist on other planets. And they would exist somewhere in the solar system, as statistics were with them. And following the survey of Mars, the Homer struck Paydirt. On Mars, there was a huge supply of duranium, neutronium, tritanium, and also boronide. The duranium resource was of particular excitement, showing over 5.5 million tons at extremely good accessibility. The council instantly deciding that Mars would be the place to begin the exploration and the expansion of the human race. The same day, 200 infrastructure was assigned to be created over the next couple of years to begin paving the way to colonizing Mars. With the source of tritanium running out on Earth quite quickly, the tritanium on Mars would begin to bolster the supply of the resource for the human race. It looked for the near future at least, duranium would not be a concern at all. With such success, the Homer was asked to begin a general survey of the system, beginning at Venus, and then moving on to all of the other geological bodies in the system. Her range being excellent, having barely used any fuel at all to survey both the Moon and Mars. The Homer would move on and begin surveying other planets in the system. On Venus, a relatively large supply was found of neutronium, 16 million in fact. Unfortunately, the accessibility was quite low at 0.1. On the 8th of August, year 8, Isabel Cooper completed the research into the fire control speed. The industry had nearly completed 75% of the first commercial shipyard, on the way to completing 2. The idea was that the council would assign one shipyard to build the new freighter, and another shipyard would build the new colony ship. Reese Lucas on the 8th of October year 8 completed his research into the terraforming module, allowing ships to orbit planets and bodies and potentially change them for the human race, make them easier to colonize and easier to live upon. With 5 spare labs, the question became, what do we research next? Part of the council argued for construction and production technologies. improving the construction rate or the research rate. And in the end, it was those voices that won out. Decided that the construction rate would be the first to be improved, with Sophie Barber becoming the scientist to take control of the project and improve the construction rate of the colony. Following that research, she would improve the mining rate before finally moving on to the research rate. Hopefully finding efficiencies in all three main areas of mining, production and research. With the second commercial shipyard almost done, the Fox Marine Group Incorporated came into being, and straight away they were asked to add another 10,000 tons to their shipyard to accommodate a freighter that would potentially be around 30,000 tons.